Welcome into your Chiefs pregame show, everybody. This is Kingdom Kickoff. We hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. A Merry Christmas. I'm Noah Groniger alongside Clint Schweitzer and our man, our former Kansas City Chief, former KCTV5 pregame host. That is Rich Baldinger down there. Rich, how was your Christmas, my friend?
Well, I didn't make it past 2:30. I started eating at 2:05, and at 2:30, that was it. I hit the floor and pretty much missed first half of the Green Bay game, and just kind of then woke up and tried to get some type of motion going in my body again. So I'm feeling pretty good about now. 24 hours later, I feel like a snake. I finally gotten things going. Big meal. I'm happy, ready to go. Chiefs got it all ready to line up. First round seed, a lot of great things happening right now. Watching some of the other games, so appreciate it, guys. I'll tell you what, Santa Claus, this will be the best gift for the Chiefs come away with the victory today against Steelers.
Well, this is the season of perpetual hope. However, I can't help but think that I might have woke up with just a little piece of Christmas time cold in my stocking here, Rich. Is not only here in Kansas City, but all around the NFL. We've got players out due to COVID protocol. And as you look at Travis Kelce last night, he's hanging out in his home in his silver robe. He's not sick. He's not experiencing any symptoms, man. The NFL's in some real trouble here if they don't stop testing asymptomatic players. And I'm sorry to have to go there this early, but man, these are not mere mortals, Rich. You guys are gods among men. This is not grandma and grandpa here out at the old folks' home. These are healthy young people playing a sport at the top of their level. And I don't know if it's just me, but the results of games matter to me. We've seen the Cleveland Browns suffer a loss to the Raiders as a result of no Baker Mayfield. I don't know. This is all the NFL's got to do something here, Rich. And it's not just because we don't have, Kelce, Niang, and Bolton today. We had, Tyreek activated off the list yesterday. But man, it's unfortunate to think that teams that their trajectory, their season could be changed by this when really what's going on. We have ambulances located in end zones that aren't there to take people off the field for colds, flus, or whatever strand of COVID they're trying to make up now.
Yeah, Clint, guys, I don't even know if I want to go there here early. I mean, this is an issue, the mandate, the COVID. Let's put it this way. 22 is going to be driven by those two words. And all I can say is that as a nation, as the world, we're going to have to make a decision on this and quickly, because it is escalating to a point that it's going to fracture a lot of people, families, countries, you name it. I mean, we've got to come and make a decision, because you're exactly right. And, the NFL doctor, I forget his name, came out this week and basically said, we have no asymptomatic people spreading the COVID. Well, CDC, Dr. Fauci, all you guys, what's your answer then to this? What's going on? Do we need the vaccines to where we're going to level? So I'll leave it as that, guys. This is something that we're all around the world have to get a grip on, because it is affecting everything and anything, and it's not right to these players. You're exactly right. Kelce's showing no symptoms. Why? Why is he sitting at home today when he should be performing on the field? It's unfair to him. It's unfair to the Kansas City Chiefs organization, and to, most important, the Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Absolutely.
Because there's just simply no answer. It's like the mask mandate. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is right. There's so many of these rules and regulations. Now, I understand, you say the word pandemic, people panic, and they're trying to protect. But sooner or later, reality and proof and science, exactly. Hey, I can say I passed math class, but when you saw my test and the amount of red markings on it, it didn't pass the smell test. So sooner or later, the people who are making the decisions, let's see your proof. Let's see where you're documenting what you're saying and how that's protecting us. I think we've reached a point of, well, you know what? We need to stop and all assess the reality, because it's not where it needs to be.
Yeah, they've moved a little further. Instead of 2 negative tests, now it's just 1 negative test. Hopefully they can move even further. Like Clint said, stop testing asymptomatic players. But we talked about some of the Chiefs that are out. What about the Steelers side? Who's out for them? Devin Bush is out due to COVID protocols. And I mean, TJ Watt has cracked ribs. Pat Fryermuth, their tight end, is out due to a concussion. He didn't pass the concussion protocol. I know we love the word protocol so much, so I'll use it again. So what is Devin Bush, Pat Fryermuth being out, and then the cracked ribs for TJ Watt present for the Chiefs, Rich?
Well, first of all, when you look at Pittsburgh, both sides of the ball, the number one thing you look at, and we all know Steelers football, is you win in the trenches. They can always smack you in the mouth and run the ball, and defensively, there's nobody better. They played that 30 front forever, and nobody ever moves them. They're there, and they force you to throw the ball. Well, you have neither one of that. For Mike Tomlin, with the loss of guys like Truitt since the beginning of the season, who I always thought was a stud player in the middle.
Yep.
With that and their problem, it's been musical chairs in the offensive line. They've got a rookie left tackle playing, center rookie. It just has not come together for him. And to be honest, if he gets through and wins this North, you might have to give him Coach of the Year because he has had not a lot. Also, to the loss of Juju Smith there, Schuster at the wide receiver position. I know that Cranepool's done well, and the other receiver Johnson's
Deontay
done well,
Johnson, James Washington.
Yeah, Juju Smith, he's a guy who's made big plays for him. When you lose that impact player, and his relationship in terms of with quarterback Roethlisberger and those deep throws, it hurts. So a lot of different moving parts, but I think today, listen, the Chiefs need to be better. Number one, running the football. We weren't good in the game. I know we came back, we won that game, but and I know, we go in this playoffs, all three aspects of your team, special teams, don't like giving up an opening kickoff. Defensively, though, we keep the Chargers from scoring points. But we've got to be better. Offensively in the O-line, consistency and run. Defensively, last week, we made a big step back. We weren't good. The Chargers kicked our butts. You go into playoffs and you play anybody like Indianapolis, it's going to be a long afternoon. So there's some things the Chiefs need to take care of. Let's do it against the Steelers because they're having problems running the ball. They're having problems stopping the run. I think with the loss of tight end for them, I think it's what bodes well for the Chiefs scoring some points, but also the defense having a good afternoon again.
Well, perhaps to mitigate some of the losses the Chiefs have, we're able to welcome back guys like L'Jarius Sneed, Willie Gay coming back. And I think that
Chris
makes
Jones back today.
Chris Jones, of course. Yeah. So maybe that kind of negates some of the key losses that we have as well. And this Steelers offense seems like it's primed to come into here to Arrowhead and to get bogged down by this ever improving Chiefs defense that we've seen, the best in the league over the past 8 weeks or so. Rich, this seems like one of those opportunities for this Chiefs defense to just feast on a bad offense and a stationary quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger that, like you said, is struggling to run the ball. We don't really know much about some of these weapons. Like you said, no Juju Smith-Schuster. So to me, this game maybe is all about the Chiefs defense. And if it can keep that momentum going, boy, you were coming down here to the last couple of weeks, and this defense maybe has pulled one of the biggest turnarounds that I've ever seen a unit do during a season. I mean, it's unbelievable, truly.
Well, I'll look at this as two different directions. I'll answer your question about the defense, but I think the bigger lingering question today is, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the Titans-Steelers game. Titans, 4 turnovers in that game. 3 in the second half led to points, and that's the only reason why Pittsburgh came out on top in that game. They had absolutely no answer for the Titans' run game. They were getting mauled. Chuck Foreman, I think, came back. Foreman, he ran the ball like a beast. And, that's the team Titans. We'll be talking about. Brown's back, too. A.J. Brown's back at that wide receiver position, too. So there's a lot of things happening there for the Titans to keep in the middle. But the big thing for me is the Chiefs just cannot turn the football over. I know last week, 2 in the game. One led to points, one didn't for the Chiefs. So, but today against the Steelers, this is a team that you make mistakes. You turn the ball over. Guys like Ben Roethlisberger know how to capture that momentum. Mike Tomlin is great at capturing momentum when you make the mistakes. So today, Chiefs take care of the football. Guys, we should come out on top with a lot of points scored. I think defensively good. But to me, take care of the football. You have a turnover today, and this could be the disaster game on your schedule.
And earlier, Rich, you were talking about the three aspects of the game. Today, I know the Steelers are without their punter. The Chiefs are without their kicker and punter. Tommy Townsend is out, so his brother Johnny Townsend is coming in to punt, and Elliott Fry is filling in for Harrison Bucker with the kicking duties. I know they brought in another punter that played with Elliott Fry at South Carolina, so maybe he'll take care of the holding duties since they're familiar with each other. What do you make of these special teams changes?
Well, maybe the Chiefs just have to go for it on fourth down. They'll have to follow the Chargers.
I'm good with that.
Right?
Let's do it.
I'll live with it. If you're going to see initially how they're going to handle the pressure. I mean, you can bring in whoever you want, but we all know until you get out there and it's live bullet action under the lights and the pressure, how do you kick? Do you follow through? Is there mistakes, shank punch? Do you give up field position? And as I talked about, the Chargers, look at that game last week, that opening drive, great return. They come away with 0 points on that first drive. In fact, 2. They missed, 10 points in the first half, which proved to be costly in the game. That was the difference in that game against the Chiefs. So today, again, you throw special teams in with no turnovers is two of the things that you want the Chiefs to make sure they take care of. But a new kicker, new punter, I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time with those guys in the locker room, guys, or on the field, so I can't give you the motivation. But all I know is that it's a very difficult situation coming the NFL game when you are now one play can be the difference in these games, and we know how close they are. So hopefully maybe the Chiefs have an advantage to it. Let's just go on fourth down and not put these guys in a bad position.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Rich, because joining us right now is none other than Brian Barker and Nick Lowry. Welcome to the show, guys. Rich has some questions for you.
Apparently, you guys weren't close.
Hey, I do know this. Brian Barker is a great basketball player. Do you remember the Chiefs used to have a basketball team back in your guys' day?
Yeah, they did. They didn't invite me to any of
Barker
those games.
was good, legit good. So was Tim Barnett. Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Where
quite
were
see
you?
it. No, I tried playing a little bit of that hoops game, but that was not my specialty. That's for sure. There was a thing called fouls, and you only get so many, and I was usually gone by the first quarter, so the first period of the game.
Hey, you're a valuable big body you could put in the middle. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Charles Oakley.
Guys, a lot of guys used to do that. My brother used to play a lot for the Cowboys. Those do that. But I'll tell you what, when you play on AstroTurf, the old AstroTurf
right,
that we did, and you would go through summer camp and everything, the off season, you absolutely didn't want to do anything for about the first 3 or 4 months because your knees and ankles were hurting so bad that you just didn't do things like that. And a lot of times those off-season programs later on in my career where they were coming in and trying all these newfangled things like box jumps, I just wouldn't do it because I was like, guys, the season's too long. It's too much pounding. You got to know how much you can put on your body. So in that, and just I loved watching basketball, guys. I live and die college basketball, but Santa Claus, include the Almighty, just did not put any of that skill set in my feet or hands or shooting or anything. So he gave me football, and it made life much easier.
Well, guys, I know Christmas is technically over. I'm still, of course, in the spirit. And, we were able to uncover, Santa Claus did uncover a list that the Kansas City Chiefs made. And this is not too late to answer this. So just as we come down the stretch here, Rich, we got 3 games remaining. Obviously, this is the first year of an 18-week season. So you talked about the pounding of a season. We'll see how that plays out. But, I mean, come on, Chiefs, just keep winning. You got the Chargers down right now to the Houston Texans. They're down by double digits, and this could be a clinching division of the division today for the Chiefs. So that's crazy. We didn't really mention this, but NFL changes COVID testing. I don't know how that got in there. We might have brought that up earlier. I don't remember. Defense finished strong. I mean, we talked about that. This defense, how far it's come for the first quarter of the season to now. Offensive line continuing to gel. Now that is something that I did not see coming. Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, and definitely Trey Smith, the rookie. Those guys are playing tremendous football right now. We're even getting some good play at the right tackle position in the absence of Niang, who hasn't been available for much of this season. And Mahomes, you do you. You know what? We saw Patrick Mahomes in crunch time last week when the offense was kind of bogging down and the Chargers, were maintaining a lead. He came back, and it was those 2 drives that we'll never forget. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, they were, of course, just ran rampant. So no Kelce today, should be back next week. But, Rich, those are kind of Santa's, our wish list of Santa. Is it too much to ask here? I mean, it looks like with 3 games to go, the Chiefs are in a really prime spot to finish this thing out.
Yeah, it looks like Cincinnati's doing the number on Baltimore. Is Jackson going to make it back this year for quarterback for them, or is he? Looks like they're pretty much done. And then the backup got the COVID too on that. So you wonder, was he again showing symptoms? And believe me, guys, this COVID testing thing is just a mess to me. I just think it's I think the union is going to give so much backlash that the NFL is going to have to readdress this whole situation, because it's just, I think it's doing more damage than it is good to these players. And that's a whole nother topic. We can go into that, and that can go on forever on that one. But also, too, I see Buffalo right now. Looks like they're doing a pretty good number on New England. What's the issue with New England's offense all of a sudden? Mac Jones there at the end just isn't doing. He has another interception in critical time. So, listen, you're exactly right. Chiefs take care of business today. Do the right thing. And listen, you're going to clinch the West, and you're going to get the number 1 seed here. But still, we're going to have to probably win all these games. Next week, you got Cincinnati and Joe Burrows, who looks like he's really putting up some numbers today for him. So, it's probably going to come down to last week, the last place. So it's what the NFL wants, guys. They want a full season. They want everyone playing to the end. And then once the final buzzer goes off, then we'll see where everybody ends up. But for Chiefs, take care of business today. This is game number 1 of a 3-game series that you got to do the right thing. And if you do, you'll come away with victory and definitely put you in a good position.
Yeah, I know we talked about Chris Jones on how he's coming back and how much we missed him against the Chargers. But going to the Steelers side, I know everyone's focused on TJ Watt, obviously Minka Fitzpatrick back there at safety, Joe Hayden at corner. But a guy I kind of want to ask you about and focus on that some people may not know, although they should, because he's been so great for so long, and how much we're going to have to focus on him. And he's going to be a big kind of key to that offensive line and getting him blocked. Cam Hayward, and just how great he's been for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, he's a beast in the middle. No question about it. You got to get 2 hats on him all the time. He hasn't had the best support from the linebackers. And believe me, I don't know if I've ever seen a year where the Steelers, if you look at one area, and I know defensive coordinator Butler there, who I played against for many years when he was at Seattle, has got to be shaking his head, because when you talk Pittsburgh Steelers, you talk one thing, and that's linebackers, whether it be inside, outside. These guys are legendary. And, it's been a struggle for them this year. And you look against them in the run, and they don't get off blocks. They're getting flat backed. And it's like, wow, this doesn't happen in Pittsburgh. It's just an unknown. So, but for Cam Hayward, the guy up front, I mean, he's just a consistent guy. He's a worker. He never quits on any play. He reminds me of a guy by the name of Richard Seymour for the Patriots, remember, for years. And you hated playing against guys like that. For me, it was a guy like Joe Nash from Seattle in my time. No matter what the play, no matter what the score, he gave 100 miles an hour. He'd never quit on the play. He'd make you look bad, the beginning, middle, and end. So that's the way I look at Cam Hayward. He's the same way, just a big body man and never stops hustling, always coming at you. And it's a fight for 60 minutes. It is a fight. So Chiefs need to take care of him up front. If you talk about one guy there that's giving you the effort right now, Warmly on the other side looks like he's playing pretty good, but he's not like Truitt. And then they also lost that guy. What's his name? Alu, the big Samoan guy. He's been out all year. So, when you lose those inside guys playing at a good level, it really affects your defense, because now your linebackers got to cover a lot more. They're getting people into their bodies quicker, and it's affected the Steelers' defense. Listen, I know TJ Watt's just an incredible player, but this is not the same mojo on that defense for the Steelers that everybody knows. That's what it's a Steelers organization's been about, setting the tempo with their defense. Don't see it this year. So looks like if the Chiefs do take care of some things, we should be effective. And, Cam Hayward might be the one guy you take care of, and, you come away with victory.
Well, we want to thank those that are watching Kingdom Kickoff here as they pour into Arrowhead Stadium. Just a little over 30 minutes until kickoff, guys. So as we start heading in that direction, we got to get Rich's keys to victory. This is what I look forward to every week. We're going to figure out how we're going to get this thing done today. So if our producer can cue that up, that'd be great.
There goes Noah getting it done.
Noah's clicking away.
No, you're doing better than me in the technical side of things there.
I try.
Always.
He had to show me how to click before we went on the air. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, offensively, guys, blitz pickup. I as I talked about, defense coordinator Butler over there I think he's going to bring more of the blitz. I think in the second half against the Titans, you saw that. Look for a lot of movement on that defense. They're going to walk people around. They're going to be hitting run blitzes. We got to make sure we get a hat on hat. Whoever your responsibility, hey, guys, I don't care if you walk up and go touch the guy and say, I'm blocking this guy. That's the way you got to get done, because if you don't against the Steelers, they're going to create havoc for you. On the other side, listen, when the Steelers had the ball, I just think our defense, especially inside Reed, Nadi last week, we just didn't do good. We did not do good. We got blocked. We got moved around in double teams. We didn't get off blocks. We got washed down, created some gaps and some lanes, and that's why the Chargers had 192 yards in rushing. I always talk about it, guys. You going in the playoffs, all aspects of your game got to be trending upwards. Last week was a big setback for us. We've been doing good, but with Chris Jones coming back, you're hoping today. And believe me, anybody we see in the playoffs, anybody, whenever we get the first round seed, if not, they are going to bring the run against the Chiefs. They're going to want to smack us in the mouth because they feel like that's how they can control the game, control the tempo, and make the Chiefs not have as much opportunity with the big plays. So got to do better. Let's start today against the Steelers and get it done. Because next week, Cincinnati, you got Joe Mixon. And believe me, they want to run him, because when he goes, Joe Burrow is even that much better. So big challenge today for the Chiefs defensively.
Yeah, and I know we got TJ Watt and Cam Hayward to deal with on that Steelers defensive line, but the Pro Bowl selections came out, and it shouldn't be any problem because Orlando Brown is a Pro Bowler. So we should have that covered, right? Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith snubbed off the list. I know Creed is an alternate, but right in there, a selection, a starter, Orlando Brown. Your thoughts, Rich?
Deserve.
Yeah, it's tough in the voting, guys. I never quite understood it. I know John Alt during my time, because Anthony Munoz in Cincinnati automatically got it. And nothing against Anthony Munoz. To me, the greatest tackle to ever play the game. So it was tough for John. How Trey Smith doesn't get in. I mean, what he does in the run game. Creed Humphrey just shows as a rookie coming in. How did he not get it either? Because playing that position, a southpaw snapper, and what he's done in terms of communication, single blocks. Yeah, there's some guys that definitely got this is family hour, so I won't use those words. Maybe if we were in the upper deck of Arrowhead Stadium, I would use those words, but not right now. So, yeah, there's some guys. And I never understood the voting. I don't get it. I don't see what players look at it, but I think sometimes they just hear a name and they automatically just put it down. They don't take the time to really, review game tape or how's the players play or ask anybody. So, hey, Orlando Brown, hey, congratulations, you're in. But I'll leave it as that.
He'll use that during contract negotiations with Brett Veach. I'm a Pro Bowler. You got to sign me to a bigger deal, bud.
Yeah, I mean, and that will be used. But then again, Brett Veach uses a thing called tape and looks at the film. And hey, listen, when you trade currencies, his business, he was trading money. When you're trading money, you make sure you know everything, because you don't want to lose your money. So believe me, when they get in negotiations, Pro Bowl, that goes right out the door. Let's cut to the tape and let's see the review of everything. So it'll be a question mark. A lot of questions with Chiefs. I think both tackle positions is open for the Chiefs in terms of what they do next year. I think you've also got to look at wide receiver position again. And, you've got to look at getting a pass rusher, a defined Micah Parsons pass rusher who comes in that every offense has to account for. And so there's a couple big holes right there. We'll see what the Chiefs do with that. And that will be the big offseason for the Chiefs this year in terms of filling those.
Well, before we get to that, we've got to give our prediction for today's game as we staring down the pike of a very big contest here, an AFC battle at Arrowhead Stadium just coming up here at 3:00, guys. So as we look at this, we know who's out. We've talked about that earlier in the show. With that said, to me, this looks like a situation where the Chiefs are going to get some other people involved. Maybe Josh Gordon will get, as Noah texted me earlier, 3 targets instead of 1. And, this is a time, and Noah Gray, Blake Bell, maybe between the two of them, they can form one serviceable football player, and this offense can keep humming. Maybe it's an opportunity to really try to run the ball with Clyde and Darrell. My prediction here today, guys, I don't think this is going to be some some high scoring affair. I like the Chiefs something like 27-17, something like that. I think defensively we're going to be able to keep the Steelers at bay. 17 might be a lot for the Steelers actually, but I'll go with 27-17. Chiefs get out here in a business like effort. Noah, what say you?
I'm going to go 24-20 Chiefs. It's going to be a close one. No Travis Kelce. I think they're going to double Tyreek, so it's going to be tough for Patrick to find someone else to go to that's going to be open. I know a lot of people think Josh Gordon's going to get those targets. You mentioned that. I don't see that happening. So he's going to have to find Pringle, guys out of the backfield. We're going to have to kind of lean on the run game a little more. So I think it's going to be a close one, 24-20. Chiefs get the victory.
No, I'd have to agree. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to give the Chiefs 21. I don't think Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, really has any answers for this right now. I'm saying the Steelers are going to get 10 points out of this thing. They might get a short field, which is going to help them get some points. But overall, I think the Chiefs dominate on this one up front. Offensively, I just want to see some consistency out of us. When we get the ball, I want to be able to do something. I don't want to go 3 and out. I know we're only got about 15. We're the least in the NFL, but it seems like the last couple of weeks for the Chiefs, this has been kind of an issue. We've been like a roller coaster. I want to see some consistency in the middle part of the game, especially against a team like the Steelers that are struggling. Let's control the clock. Let's control the time. And if we have to grind it out, fine. But you know what? Let's don't give Big Ben the last chance. Let's don't give him his last hurrah against the Arrowhead Stadium in the crowd, because this is probably his last year. And I'm going to tell you what, I think the Steelers know it. I think their organization knows it, that next year going to be the first time without Big Ben, and they have no answers for that. I am glad we're not in that position to tell you, because the people in Pittsburgh right now are definitely worried about it.
Yeah, and it looks like we got about 45 minutes till kickoff here. We want to thank everybody for watching. This has been your Chiefs pregame show. This is Kingdom Kickoff. We all got the Chiefs winning. James Howe commented. He's got the Chiefs winning 28-17. So let's hope for that. Let's stay in the 1 seed here in the AFC. Let's wrap up first place in the AFC West, as it looks like the Chargers aren't going to be able to come back against the Texans. Let's hope that
they are
holds.
actually, as we speak. Sorry.
No, they're not. No, Texans win. Sorry. But for Noah Groniger, that's Clint Schweitzer and Rich Baldinger. Until next time, we'll see you. This has been Kingdom Kickoff.
Thanks, guys.